Hi YouTubers, hi subscribers, how are you? Well, this is the long awaited because I've been working in the artist's garden, as you saw from the last vlog, the project we're doing. This is finally part 2 of the Trans Pride protest in Southampton's Guildhall on the 18th of July 2020. It was held in conjunction with People's Pride and the Art House, and I hope you enjoy it. This was one of the speeches, so here you go.
Is inconvenient for their agenda. When 70% of respondents and a majority of the public support us and our rights for who we are, this is an injustice. This is nothing new, but it is still insulting to those who believe in liberation. One of these injustices though the other speeches you will hear today contain countless others, is the spousal veto. The spousal veto is meant to give the spouse a say in the future of a marriage. But what it really means is that a transgender person is often forced to divorce their partner to have their gender recognised or continue in a marriage living a lie, entirely dependent on whether their partner is happy with them being transgender or not, just because they have a separate legal relationship. If they refuse to divorce, it is possible you can be trapped in a marriage you don't want, in a gender you aren't, because of a law you never agreed to. In no other area do we give a spouse, especially one who could potentially be abusive, such a level of power in law over the very identity of the partner concerned. We demand the GRA be reformed to get rid of this, and we believe the public are behind us on what is obviously a nonsense regulation aimed at making our lives that much more difficult to navigate. I'll tell you what's transphobic, this bloody mask, it keeps falling down my face. In recent weeks particularly, but over the last several years, the Tory party and its media sycophants have pushed to protect cisgender women from us, the trans predator, the menace under your bed. This is of course nonsense. Ireland has a self-declaration ID system of recognition of gender, and the sky has not fallen in. And the data revealed by Hasenbush et al., a study of changing rooms, locker rooms and toilets with transgender inclusive policies, shows that we are factually no threat to anyone, as if there was any surprise to that. They then propose to attack our youth with safeguards. Contrary to popular belief, it is both safe and somewhat common to provide young people with hormone blockers. Cisgender children have taken them for decades without incident or concern for puberty judged as too early. But if we take them for having the wrong puberty entirely, the world must be falling apart. To deprive our youth of the medicine they need to survive is surely more of a scare story than anything bigots can come up with. After this protest, I'm buying a new mask. Transphobic columnists and their all too willing mobs propose to exclude us from our spaces, our toilets, our changing rooms, our pools, our violence refuges, and even refuse us the right to be caged in a prison with the right people. And now they try to exclude us from our own lives. They propose safeguards that will likely amount to our erasure from public life and protections that do nothing but violence to our community. But we have left the closet once and we are not going back in. What everyone in this audience must know and be conscious of is that this is not a hypothetical debate. This is not a debating club or the University Labour Society. It is not as trivial as the best flavour of ice cream, and it is not something everyone can comprehend equally. It never was a hypothetical debate. Mask again. When the police in the US and UK locked us up or beat us bloody for being ourselves, it was not hypothetical. When we, especially our black sisters, are beaten or murdered in our homes or on the street today, especially by transphobes who go unhindered by the complacency of society, it is not hypothetical. When transgender youth are bullied into taking their own lives because no doctors will help them and no teachers will stop their abuse, it is not hypothetical. My ability to be protected from violence, to exist in public like anybody else, is not hypothetical. Arguments about our rights are playing with our lives like a toy, and that is not okay. Real people get hurt when bigotry becomes law. We must remember, however, that this is not our only fight. When I was younger, my own mother called me a freak and demanded I not out myself in case other people brought violence back to our home. 59% of trans women and 56% of trans men have avoided expressing their identity because they fear the reaction of others. I didn't come out for years because of that fear. For our non-binary siblings in the crowd, that's 76% of you. But we knew that even without the numbers, right? Because we've lived that fear. Many of us, at school, at work, at home, have been physically attacked for being ourselves. Half of trans people surveyed by the TUC have been bullied at work, and a 2018 survey by Stonewall found that 1 in 8 trans employees has been physically attacked by a colleague or customers. And it is even worse in schools. I know from my own life that they sure as hell weren't even counting most of what went on in school, but we knew that because y'all have been through it. I am shaking more than the Tories will be when I finish the speech. In the NHS, our lives are an afterthought. Our bodies are technicality and our needs a burden. The GIC system has put me on hold for years in my transition, though the General Medical Council says that transgender care is not a specialisation and you cannot do any official training to learn. If my care is not specialised, why must I wait? As the song goes, why are we waiting? It is not any medical reason. Bridging prescriptions are already allowed, and yet they require us to put our health in danger self-medicating before we can be assured of the healthcare we actually deserve. Make no mistake, this does not fulfil the doctor's pledge of doing no harm, and it does not live up to the NHS pledge for free healthcare at the point of use. The system is failing and it must change. When it comes to work in particular, 1 in 3 UK companies won't even hire us. And that isn't even shocking when you consider that 2 in 5 trans people have had a hate crime against them. This problem cannot simply be wished away. None of this is new. The only difference any of this makes is that now you're paying attention and fighting back. We have to fight. We have to fight. We have to collectivise our struggle, and we have to win. So, to be perfectly clear, for anyone in the audience who thought it was ambiguous, we demand the right for all transgender people to be recognised as they are in law and access spaces appropriate to their gender. We demand that the gender identity clinic system be only secondary to the care easily provided by GPs and psychologists. It is only... I mean, it's only we have... It is only the stubbornness of regulation that stops that happening. We must act on informed consent and not tired bigotries. We demand transgender rights in the workplace, in housing and in schools. We demand dignity for ourselves, dignity for our communities and justice for our people. This will... But this will not be simply won, nor will it just be won by writing letters or with protest. Our rights must be defended with collective action and collective education if we are to keep them. Because only collective resistance works when faced with directly opposing interests to our own. It is no coincidence that a party of capitalists and landlords are bringing these proposals. If you are arguing against our rights, you are not paying attention to what they're doing. If you are arguing against our rights, you are not arguing for higher wages. If you are arguing against our rights, you are not arguing for a funded NHS. If you are arguing against our rights, then you are not for that liberation, you forget the point of feminism, and you do nothing for the climate. Opposing our rights is only a distraction from the dangers that surround you and everyone else. Transgender people are in every community and in every struggle for liberation, so that as youth peoples, we learn and struggle together to build a world where all of us are free. Thank you.
Well, that was one of the speeches made at the trans rights protest in Southampton. As I say, it was on the 18th of July 2020. I hope you enjoyed it. I just gave you a selection of the speeches. As I say, some of the ones I couldn't do because of the sound issue, so I managed to get the two out for you. If you haven't seen it, go to part one. There's another speech there by someone. I didn't know the names of the people giving the speeches, but I hope that hasn't taken away from the message that they gave. And I'll see you all soon. Please like, share and subscribe. Always helps the algorithm. See you later, guys.